Welcome back to Cool Toys. Really appreciate you guys being here. This is not one of our big outdoor playing with a Jeep, having a lot of fun episodes. This is all about making cool toys at home. So as winter's coming, you get locked in the house, smart homes, connected homes start to become the thing. You know, all these great toys that we can buy and put into our homes, like Alexa. So nice little toy, I can just say, Alexa, play rock. And
rock mix from Spotify.
Alexa off. So I don't want to get in trouble for copyright, so I won't play the music, but it's that simple and it's a lot of fun. But Michelle Kohanim at Universal Devices and I had a very good and long conversation about something in the home tech business. Both of us have been in the industry forever. I started installing home networks in 1984. I don't want to give away my age, but 89, somewhere in there, maybe 87. And making homes smarter, better networking, better connectivity, better things. We now have this thing called the Internet of Things. You might see IoT. Your washer can talk to your refrigerator, can talk to your television. But all of that is not truly smart. It's connected, and it's two very different things, and that's what Michelle and I were talking about. His company, Universal Devices, and several others have been struggling recently for a lot of reasons. The biggest one, obviously, the economy. Yeah, you know what they say, it's the economy, stupid. Well, you know, it's true about everything. When the 2006 through 2009 housing crash happened, 75% of every audio video manufacturer in the United States disappeared. They were consolidated into other companies. And in fact, one of the things I'm going to show you today has already consolidated, meaning that that company's had to get absorbed by somebody else in order to stay alive. And it's too bad because it's a great product. All of this turned out to be this long conversation, and we started looking at it like a human. So a human has this ability to be totally autonomous and to go out into the world and survive and do all these things by itself, right? We can do that. Sheep are so stupid. They're an animal that is considered not enough brain power to survive in the wild. If you let them go in the wild, they don't even know how to eat. They can eat, but they'll just let other stuff eat them, and that's part of the problem. The connected home and the smart home, two different things. And then we'll get into something else after that. But let's talk about smart versus connected. Think of your connected home as being part of the matrix. When I talk to that little device over there, the Echo, and call it by name, in fact, we name them differently throughout our house. We have a Ziggy, we have an Alexa, we have each of the names. So every room you can turn music on or off by that room just by using the correct name. It's a neat feature. Those are connected features. They go out to the internet, out to Amazon, and then back to you with the music. The same is true for Google Home, and the same is true for the Apple Home. But if you have a little device like this, Universal Devices, this little teeny thing, it looks, for those of you that are super nerdy, kind of like a Raspberry Pi stuffed in a box. It's got a couple of lights on the front, very simple, very straightforward. This is the brains to my house. This little box controls everything. And that's what makes it a smart home. So if the internet disconnects from my house, if I go back to a box and just unplug the internet from the outside world, my smart lights don't quit. If I say, hey, Ziggy, turn on the lights, then, you know, Ziggy's got to be there to turn on the lights, right? But if we're disconnected from the internet and I say, hey, Ziggy, turn on the lights, what do you get? Oh, I'm having trouble disconnecting to the, or connecting to the internet, right? So the smart home, if the internet goes down and I push the smart button that says turn on some lights, then the lights still work. That's a smart home. So a smart home has this ability to be somewhat autonomous. And that's really what this episode's about. We're going to talk about connected versus autonomous in each of the pieces of how we live at home electronically and technologically in our current world. You know, lighting, simplest thing, lighting control. Philips Hue, you go buy the little light bulb, screw it in, give it the app, and boom, you just say, Ziggy, turn on the light, and boom, light comes on, right? Very cool. Ziggy, make that light red. And my neighbor across the street's got two of them, and he says, Ziggy, make one light named, you know, right gate red, make left gate green. Now he's got Christmas lights. So very cool, connected. If the internet goes down when he's doing that, boom, dead, done. Can't do it. If he goes to bed, the internet goes down and he says, Ziggy, turn off the lights. Well, or Google, turn off the lights. Guess what? Google can't do it because it can't talk to Google to get the lights to turn off. And that is the connected home. It's the matrix. You got to be part of that matrix. Otherwise, you don't exist. With a smart home, you don't need it. So, like, let me show you this switch. So this switch here is a 6 button. The top one and the bottom one are really just a light switch. So you see on and off, right? Then the 4 in the middle are smart switches that do different things around the house. And then even if the internet goes down, that switch still works, which is really a cool feature. So now you ask, why does that matter? Well, and why is this important? So this little box also talks to those switches, so I can give it some programming. And so this screen right here is just a simple program, turn some lights on and off, right? Well, I have hundreds of those programs that decide based on motion sensors, if somebody's in the house, if I'm on vacation, if the alarm is on, it talks to my alarm. I have an Elk M1 Gold, and we have that in the studio and the house. They talk back and forth. So if the alarm is on, it says, oh, he's not home, but go ahead and run the lights as if he's home. And then if I am home, it says run the lights based on how he's living in the house. So it does change a little bit, but most of my neighbors can't tell if I'm home or not, which is exactly what you're looking for. You don't want to be the victim because it looks like you have an empty house. And that is what happens. If you have internet connected and somebody disconnects your internet, lights don't change. And if you're a good thief, what's the first thing you want to test? Disconnect the internet. Do the lights change? Nope. Okay, they're not home. It's all internet connected. So this is a simple thing. And that's all about the connected home, right? Versus the smart home. So having this little ISY, this is the old version, it's called an ISY. There's a new one. There's a policy that's out now that's way smarter than this. These work, and here's the other part I like, and this is where Michelle and I have a great understanding and why we have a good friendship, is that we both agree we don't want to be hamstrung by a company. And this comes from that 2006 downturn. When all those companies went out of business, if I bought a lighting control system from, let's say, Scott Lighting, and Scott Lighting goes out of business, you're out of luck, right? So one of the things that I learned in that business was problem solving and how to get around being stuck. And Universal Devices solve that. They're one of 3 brands of these little boxes that allow me to talk to a Z-Wave, a Zigbee, an Insteon, an X10. And if you've been around at all, you know X10's been around since the 70s. And there's several companies that make X10 compatible lighting and switches and alarm clocks and all kinds of cool things. So Universal does that. We don't want to be stuck with something. I like Lutron a lot. I like Crestron a lot. But I can't talk to Crestron with this because Crestron demands that you use their stuff. Control 4, same thing. But with the UDI, the Universal Devices box, the newest one coming out this year is the Easy, EISY. I have all of these great little plug-in modules that can control when my car charges for the maximum efficiency. They've even got one that talks to your power company. So if the clouds block the solar, your house drops its need for power for just a few minutes while those generators spool up, and that's a big deal. But let me show you how this kind of all rolls out. Let's look at this bank of 4 switches. So there's 4 switches there, one of everything, right? The first one, you'll notice there, is a timed switch. It's got a timer, and that's the fan for the shower. You push a button, the fan comes on, you take a shower, you get out. And you forget to turn the fan off, no big deal. Walk away, it turns itself off. And that works great for things like a fireplace. If you want to have a little fire ambiance when you go to bed, if you got a fireplace in your bedroom or downstairs and you use it to heat your house, you push the button for 20 minutes, go to bed, you know it's off. You don't have to worry that, oh, did I leave the fireplace on? Because that happens, right? Now, once that's all done, you move to the next step, right? Entertainment. So we go to the next switch and we have a basic light switch on off. And because we've got 2 different sets of lights in this particular bathroom, we have one that is automatic, one that is not. So you can see going through this, we've got a time switch, an automatic switch, a manual switch, and then the one with the little lights on the side is the Insteon dimmer switch. And that one's the coolest one because you walk into the bathroom, you hit it, you can predetermine how bright you want it. We always set it to the lowest 10%, so you walk in at night, you make a little night light, go in and go. And then that motion sensor does the same thing. It actually puts on the tow light. Walk out of the bathroom, 5 minutes later, tow light turns off. So you have a safe light in the middle of the night to use the restroom, come back, do whatever you want to do. The other one, if you forget to turn off the bathroom lights, but you leave the house says, oh, there's nobody in the house. Nobody outside the house can see that that light's on, turn it off, and it turns off. If you set the alarm, that light automatically turns off. That's one of the cool things with those Insteon switches. And again, universal devices is really the thing that runs the house. I don't care if it's Insteon, Lutron, Zigbee, Z-Wave, any brand or any format of that lighting, or X10 even, old X10 works great. All of that works perfectly with my little UDI. This is an ISY, and the new one again, Policy and Easy. So I'm looking forward to get the Easy because I can get some more polys in there, which are those little plug-in modules that let you do all kinds of cool stuff. You know, if you're really nerdy, you can go get a Raspberry Pi and do all this yourself. But like I showed you earlier, that little simple program that Universal Devices puts together makes my life super easy. So why not? You know, a couple $100, no big deal. Now, that said, we've got the company that consolidated. This is that whole audio, video, entertainment, everything. The whole industry is changing because we as consumers consume differently. We want now, we want instant, and we're okay renting, which is bizarre to me. I'm very much a control freak. I'm a pilot, right? I want to be in control. I want to know I own it. When I go to watch TV and I have to pay $60 a month to stream what I can watch with an antenna, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So the funny part is we had cable, we went to streaming over the internet went down one day and I thought, this is ridiculous. I put up an antenna, little $9 as seen on TV, HD TV, whatever antenna, and I got 15 channels with that little thing. I thought, geez, why am I paying $64 a month to watch ABC, NBC, CBS, which is really what I watch on my streaming service? And we had YouTube TV and Hulu TV at different times, and DirecTV and AT&T TV, which became DirecTV. So all of those streaming services plus local really didn't give me anything different because you had to pay extra for Paramount Plus, or you had to pay extra for HBO, you had to pay extra for Apple TV, extra for Disney Plus, right? So if you want to watch Mandalorian, you pay for Disney. You want to watch Acapulco, you pay for Apple. Neither of those were in the YouTube part. Everything was there. And then I found this little gem. So this is Tableau TV, little box, a little bit bigger than the Universal Devices. It's got 4 tuners in it. So 4 off-air tuners. You can have 4 different TVs playing in the house all at the same time, all different channels, and recording one of them. So we DVR one channel, we watch another channel, and the DVR is based on how big of a hard drive I stuck on there. So I went to, Costco and grabbed an 8 terabyte hard drive for $150 and plugged it in there. And that's going to be like a month and a half worth of television watching that it'll store. So I go back and off air, I get to watch all the old Baba Black Sheep episodes that, growing up, I got to meet Pappy Boynton. So I got this cool thing of this old TV show. And at the same time, we're recording all the new stuff, Ghosts and Survivor and whatever else my wife wants to watch. And we have tons of room and it's, $2.99 for this, $200, $2.99 a month for the guide. So I don't have to manually program in which channels and what times to do it, to record. And that gives me automatic commercial skip for $3 a month versus $65 a month. I'll pay the $150 for a little Tableau, and the 4K unit is coming out soon. So keep that in mind. If you want true 4K with Dolby Atmos surround sound, because you've got nice surround sound stereo, you spent all that money on that Denon receiver and those Dolby Atmos speakers, don't really get that with streaming, do you? But you do get it if you go off-air. Off-air TV, especially now with ATSC 3 coming out, you're going to be able to get 4K. It's just an outstanding product, and it's free. Why not? So Tableau TV, I'm going to say right now, 5-star, CoolToys approved, great product. The app is fantastic because you can put it on any Apple TV or other stick in the house and stream from the Tableau to those TVs. And we did notice though that streaming does degrade the picture just slightly. Not as bad as streaming over YouTube TV or Hulu or something like that, but it does make a slight difference. It does record with a little bit of compression. So that's the part of Tableau I'd like you to fix. So 4.75 stars. We still give you 5 on the website, but the reality is we'd like to see that a little better. And I'm looking forward very much to the 4K version. That should be outstanding. So we've got the smart home with its own independent brain for watching and recording TV. We've got its own independent brain for controlling the lights, talking to the alarm, figuring out if we're home, turning on the coffee maker, turning off the refrigerator when we need to for the power company, and those kind of things. But we still stream YouTube, Netflix, and all those things. Amazon Prime, right? So we got a way around that too. And this is one of my favorite old school toys. Very sad to see that there are not a lot of them around anymore. Very hard to find in dealers. That is a Request media server. Again, I hang a NAS drive, network accessible storage off the back, 16 terabytes. I've got over, I want to say 700 CDs that I've collected over the years, recorded onto there, and another 350 movies. Let me show you this little screenshot here. This is the screen when I want to watch a movie. And as long as I've got a media player, smaller version of this box, in each room, I can play my DVDs that I've already paid for in any room that's got a media player in the house, or I can stream music to all the rooms in the house that are connected by the A-bus system. And we'll get to the home audio in just a second. But so we've got a legal way and an easy way to store all this stuff. Request.com, they still make the servers. They're hard to come by. Used market, good luck. There's guys like me that are gobbling them all up because they are expensive. But when the internet goes down, guess what? I still have full DVD storage and Blu-ray now. They do have a Blu-ray edition. So, if you want to be out in the ocean in your yacht, or if you just want to be home without internet, watching movies, or you don't want to pay. How many times have you known that you bought a CD and paid $3.99 to rent the same stupid movie again later? Especially if you got kids. How many times did you pay for Cars or Pocahontas or Frozen? Jeez. Buy Frozen for $34 and then you got to pay $3.99 every time your kid wants to watch it because you didn't get the Disney Plus app. Solved by a Request. And the coolest thing, I will tell you this, the coolest feature of Request, if you're lucky enough to have 2 houses, or you want to cheat a little, get a second server, bring it with you on the road, you can stream from your home to your second server over the internet and then watch all the movies that you own at your second house or your second yacht or whatever it is that you have to do it. It is a high-end piece. It's a lot of fun, but it goes back to that smart home. I own it. I'm it, versus the Matrix, where I depend on the streaming service, I depend on internet access, and I depend on the internet capabilities. Now, one of the big things with streaming services is the little smart speakers. You can put them all over the house, and I can say, Echo, play music in the everywhere group, and every speaker in the house can come on if I have 10 of these things sticking all around the house. But reliability is a little iffy. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's a funny thing, and you got to reset them 3, 4, 5 times. I don't like that. Again, I want to be in control. I want this stuff to work. So I have this little black box right there. It's got just category 5 wire going in, and then some RCA connectors that connect audio devices. So I can come out of that Request server. I can come actually out of a little Echo Dot with a headphone jack into 2 RCAs. So now I've got 2 sources. Then I can come out with a FM tuner, and I can come out with a Sirius satellite tuner if I wanted. So I could have 4 different sources, and this keypad right here, pick the power, pick the source, and I can listen to music in any room. And all it is a Cat 5 wire to the keypad, and then speaker wires to the 2 speakers in the ceiling. And I'll tell you, it's bulletproof, reliable, works good, lasts a long time. I'm very sad that Channel Vision has sold out or been acquired by another company. I hope they make it. Fortunately, there are other companies that make this technology, A-Bus. Very inexpensive, easy to install. all of this, you can go berserk and go buy Crestron, or Control 4 is a little more reasonable, or Elan, or some of these other companies make these whole house audio, video, lighting control systems. But the cost difference, and again, CoolToys, we like doing stuff ourselves here. You know, you see me working on the Jeep, and you see me going surfing. I got my buddies custom making surfboards for me. These aren't things we bought in a store. These are things we've done, or somebody we know has hooked us up. And that's really kind of the CoolToys thing, is getting out there on our own and doing it. So a request, that's a little iffy one. You can handbrake a Mac illegally and do the same thing, but if you get a request and you got a decent dealer, once it's installed, it's very easy to manage and maintain. Tableau, you can do it yourself. The UDI, now the policy, or the easy little box, you can manage all the lights in your house. And if you can change a light switch, you can put an Insteon, Zigbee, Z-Wave, or even Lutron lighting, and have all of that stuff be completely automated. The elk alarm, boy, I'd probably have an alarm guy put it in, because they are a little bit of work. But again, once it's in, you own it, you manage it. You get a ring, somebody cuts off your internet, guess what? Ring don't work. So my elk works over the internet to call me, text me, page me anytime somebody comes into the house or the studio. It also has a cellular data backup. So if the internet goes down, I've got a little box with a cellular antenna, and boom, I still get the call. So we don't lose anything. Again, smart home versus connected. Now, let's go to the coolest part of all of this, hybrid. You can train your universal box with a little poly to talk to Alexa, and vice versa. The camera system on our house, we have a Lorex camera, 4K, both in the studio and the house, surveillance system. So if somebody shows up at the studio when I'm still sitting here at home, or if I'm sitting here at home and somebody's, if I'm sitting over at the studio and somebody's knocking on my front door wondering why I'm not in the big studio and I'm shooting here at home, there you go. I can see them right on the screen, and I can put those right on the Echo Show, the big LCD TV style Amazon Echoes. I can also train in some of the lighting from the universal devices. So I can say, turn on the lights, set the scene. My holiday lights, turn on holiday lights. Party lights is my favorite. If we're gonna have company over, I say, Echo, Ziggy, set party lights. And it talks to the UDI. This has a program called Party Lights. Party Lights goes to town, and boom, the whole house is lit up exactly the way I want it for entertaining guests. You can do that without it. You can do it with Hue lights and do that all over the house, but I will tell you, way simpler, way more reliable, and if your internet goes down, you can still entertain your guests. You've still got music on a request, you've still got TV on Tableau, so if you're showing the football game, and I will tell you, football's coming back Thursday night, Tableau, high def, I'm telling you, you can see the difference in football, soccer, European football. My wife is a sports nut. I'm a car guy. I like watching F1, and man, I'll tell you, off-air F1 is phenomenal, and I did not think it would be there, but it is there too on some channels. So CBS has got F1 once in a while, and they've got some other auto racing. It's a lot of fun. To watch it on the big screen in pure high definition without compression is absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, a lot of fun stuff. So if you're thinking about smart home versus connected home, CoolToys here, we're gonna say smart home all day long. Second, hybrid home. Get a smart home, hybrid it. Integrate all this stuff, because the truth is, we've got Google Home boxes, we've got Alexa. Remember though, if you're connected home, you're paying Amazon, Google, Apple, somebody to bug your house. That gets a little creepy, so I will tell you that half of my home has no connected devices whatsoever in it. So there is no spying on me in my bedroom or in my guest bedroom. My guests can stay safely. They can't say, Ziggy, turn on the lights, but they don't have to worry about Ziggy listening into a private conversation for their work, which is important with some of our guests. And me personally, if I need to talk to you about your password for your company server, really don't want that little thing listening in. And they say it doesn't, but we all know it does. We're paying them to bug us. So connected home, smart home. I go smart home, hybrid, connected is my vote. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. that's it for today. Next time, we're gonna go a little nuts. For the season finale of season 4, I am going to test out something that just showed up, a brand new electric. Why is the handle on the bottom? There we go, I got it backwards. Meepo skateboard. This is the extended range. It is 7 miles from here to downtown Huntington Beach to the pier, and I'm gonna ride it and see if I can make it all the way there and back. And then I'll tell you how fun it is. That's what we've got coming up next time. Really appreciate you watching. Get some swag at cooltoys.tv. Get your Cool Toys t-shirt. If you've got a cool toy, send it to us. Tell us about it. Let us get it on the air and let us play with it and see if it gets a Cool Toy star. But for now, going through it, Universal Devices, 5 stars. Tableau, 5 stars. Request, Cool Toys approved, barely 1 star. So part of it is that they used to have Netflix, Hulu, and all those apps built into the request. They currently don't work. If you saw that on the screen, don't be fooled. Click on it, it doesn't work. Weather doesn't work, stock don't work. There's a lot of things that this used to do that it could do better, and that's why we pulled a couple stars off of it. 4 years ago, I had given it 5. It's not there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great night. Subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.